When I first began playing guitar, I was told by a guitar instructor, go learn the notes of your guitar. And he handed me a photocopy out of a book of a graph of a fingerboard with all the notes laid across all the frets on all the strings. I came back the next week, hadn't learned anything. And then he told me, let's break it down. Start with one string, learn the notes up to the 5th fret, and then we'll memorize the next string the next week, and so on and so forth. It took me 20 years to actually come up with the concept I'm about to show you. So in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to show you how to find all the notes in your guitar, as long as you know the names of your strings, and what I'm going to teach you about half steps and whole steps. So let's get started. In the musical alphabet, we have 7 letters: A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, and that's it. Nothing else to remember at this point, because there are no other letters. There's no X, Q, Y, M, Z, none of that. It's A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, and it repeats itself. In music, all those letters have a set interval or distance between them. Interval is just a big word for distance, a distance of 2 feet between me and something, 10 feet from you to the front door of your house. It's a distance. In music, how we relate distance is what we call half steps and whole steps. Now, don't let that confuse you, because it's very simple. A half step for guitar players is 1 fret, and a whole step is 2 frets. So let me show you that. If I'm on the 1st fret of the 6th string, and I want to move up a half step, 1 fret's all I have to do. If I want to move up a whole step, it's 2 frets. Very simple stuff. So how do we put all this together? Okay, the 7 letters of our musical alphabet, the set distances are, everything has a whole step between it, except for B and C and E and F. In other words, in all 7 letters, there will always be a fret between everything, except on B and C, they will be side by side, and E and F will be right next to each other. Basically, they're neighbors. So, we start with this. Our low E string, we want to find the F. From E, 1 fret to F. F and G have a whole step between them. F, we move 2 frets to G. And we're on G. We want to find A. G and A, whole step, 2 frets. Getting a little easier, isn't it? We go to A, we want to go to B. Whole step or half step? It's a whole step, so we move up 2 frets. Now remember, B and C are neighbors. So B to C is right there, right next door to each other. C to D again is a whole step, 2 frets. That note's a D note. D to E is going to be a whole step, 2 frets. And we're back at E. Starts back over. Over time, you'll memorize this, but what we've done is we've made it to where you're self-sufficient. You can find the notes. If you're here and you don't know what it is, you can start with E and work that pattern I just showed you. What I suggest you do is start with your low E string and work on it every day, working down to the 12th fret, because at the 12th fret it starts again. And then work to get your 5th string pattern memorized. And then once you get that, I'll show you a little trick using octaves to help assist you to find the rest of the notes on your guitar. Over time, you'll get to where it's just secondary, but what we want to do is have to where you don't have to use a big grid of paper and try to just remember things. We want you to be able to find yourself, no matter where you're at, with a mental roadmap. Now, you're probably going to ask, what notes are in those blank spots? For instance, E and F were side by side. They're neighbors. But F to G leaves us a note in between it. What is that note called? Well, that's going to be either a sharp or a flat. A sharp raises a note a pitch a half step. A flat lowers a note a pitch a half step. So if we're moving this way, going up in pitch on our guitar, and that's an F, that would be an F sharp. It's the exact same name as G flat. They have the same name. Don't let that confuse you for right now. You can go into our resource section and you can learn all about this. We have other lessons on theory that explain that. But for now, I want you to know that it does have a name to it. But what I want you to focus on are E, F, G, A, B, C, D, and E. Now, in the next lesson of the series, I'm going to show you how to use octaves to help map around the fretboard a little bit better. So go check that one out.